York Regional Police are speaking to reporters after the remains of a missing Markham woman were found near Parry Sound. Let's listen in live.
On August 12th, the Ontario Provincial Police in West Parry Sound responded to a report of found human remains on a property on Avro Arrow Road. Yesterday, the Office of the Chief Coroner positively identified the deceased as Miss Moy. This is obviously not the outcome any of us had hoped for. 3 youths have been charged in connection with Miss Moy's disappearance and face firearms and fraud-related charges. Our investigators are looking for any witnesses, dash cam or CCTV video of a vehicle of interest in this crime, a white 2019 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter cargo van. We believe Miss Moy was transported in this vehicle and are asking anyone who may have seen it in the area of 3821 Vandorf Side Road in the town of Whitchurch-Stouffville, on or in the area of Avro Arrow Road and Highway 400 in Parry Sound between August 9th and August 12th to please contact our investigators. We believe Miss Moy was targeted, and our homicide unit will continue the investigation until we find the individuals responsible for her death. We continue to appeal for any witnesses and ask for anyone with information to please contact our investigative team. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everyone who assisted in the search for Miss Moy, including her family, friends, the community, and the media. I'd also like to thank the OPP for their work in this investigation and the outstanding work of our investigators in the Homicide Major Case Management Unit. I'd also like to personally extend my heartfelt condolences to the family and friends of Miss Moy. The family have asked the community to please respect their privacy during this difficult time, and I asked that you please honor that request. I have with me today Inspector Paulo Fiore and Detective Sergeant Dave Gill from our homicide unit, and we can take any questions you might have at this time.
Hi, I'm Leslie from Star. Can you tell us a bit more about the charges these youth are facing? And you had mentioned that you're still looking for the individuals responsible for their deaths. So is it believed these youth assisted but weren't actually directly involved in the homicide? Can you just elaborate a bit on that?
Yeah, I'll have the investigators take that.
Thank you. Yes, so York Regional Police Homicide Unit have arrested and charged 3 young offenders. One of the young offender has been charged with 3 counts of fraud. Another young offender has been charged with 1 count of fraud and multiple breach of court orders. And a third young offender has been charged with multiple counts of fraud, firearm-related offenses. All 3 young offenders are persons of interest in this homicide investigation, but their exact involvement as to what they did or what they had to do with this investigation and with the disappearance of Ms. Moy is being investigated.
Where's the fraud charge coming from?
We believe at this time that Ms. Moy's credit cards were used by these young offenders.
In what way?
They were used at multiple different locations in the GTA.
And why are you looking for that Sprinter vehicle? Since you already have the guys, what are you looking to get an investigator on that?
So what we're asking the public is for any dash cam or any CCTV image off the Sprinter van, as we believe Ms. Moy was transported in the Sprinter van from the Vandorf address to the area of Avro Arrow Road and Highway 400 in Parry Sound.
Can you speak to the importance of the Vandorf address? You spent a lot of time and
resources at that location. Can you give us any information on that?
Yes, so based on our investigation, that's where Anita Moy disappeared from. So we believe that property was of interest to us.
The credit cards, were they used from the time of her disappearance, or were they used before that as well?
What we believe is they were used after her disappearance.
Do you believe she was transported alive?
We don't know. We're looking into those facts.
Were you able to get any evidence from that Vandorf address?
We did collect evidence, but I cannot get into that evidence.
Of course.
Do you know the age of the young offenders?
Yes, so 2 of the young offenders are 17 years old, and 1 of them is 16 years old.
why do you suspect she was targeted?
We believe she was at this property for a real estate transaction, But as to exactly why she was targeted, that's part of our investigation.
Do you believe she was targeted for her finances or for the actual murder?
That's part of our investigation, and we're looking into it.
Looking for a little bit more information on these
Yes.
events. Can you tell us when they were charged and if they were appeared in court and when their next court appearance?
I don't have the exact dates of the next court appearance, but yes, I can confirm they were all held for a bail hearing, and 2 of them have since been released on bail, and 1 of them is still in custody and will be appearing for bail, I believe, in about 7 days.
I just wanted to act with the parking.
Sorry, I can, go ahead.
Tell us just when the last appearance was.
The last court appearance, I believe, was a few days ago. I don't have the exact date, but I can get back to you on that.
There's been reports that she was quite politically active within the Chinese community, and so I'm curious, do investigators suspect that she was targeted in any way for that political work that she had done?
We're looking at all different investigative avenues, but we do not have any information to believe that she was targeted because of her political views.
I realize you can't give specifics, but do you know how she got from Scarborough to Vandorf, given that her car was found in Scarborough?
That's correct. Her car was found in Scarborough. We're looking into it. That's part of our investigation, but we believe she disappeared from the Vandorf address.
Is there any sort of belief that these 3 agents may not have acted just on their own volition, that there may be higher-ups or any sort of behind?
That is still part of our investigation, and if other persons of interest or suspects are identified, we'll pursue those avenues. But at this time, those are the only 3 individuals charged.
Just last month, another Markham woman around the same age went missing, Yin Jiang. The circumstances sound very similar, especially with the fact that the body was also found north of the city as well in that case too.
Okay.
Are you linking those 2 cases, those investigations?
There's no evidence to suggest those 2 cases are linked.
Inspector, did you get a cause of death?
Sorry, can you repeat your question?
How did whoever found the body?
I believe OPP was contacted as somebody had been on that property and noticed what they believed was suspicious, and that's when the Ontario Provincial Police engaged and started an investigation.
And what was the condition of her body?
We believe it was burnt, but as far as further on her condition of her body, I cannot get into it. That's part of the evidence.
But you had to identify him by other than traditional means, correct? How was that?
Correct. So we worked with the coroner's office and the Center of Forensic Science, and the identification was forensically confirmed.
So would it be fair to say that somebody went to some lengths to be able to conceal her body there?
That is part of the investigation, but we're looking at all those different avenues.
Were you able to get a cause of death, Inspector?
No, at this point, we're still working with the coroner's office.
Okay.
You mentioned that her remains were found August 12th. I understand the coroner just wondering, given the case of being saying we found the remains and later call out to say we have identified. Just wondering why the police took so long to mention that there might be a cause.
Yes. So our team has been working around the clock. We've been working with the Chief Coroner's Office, Center for Forensic Science, and the pathologist. And as soon as that positive identity was notified, as soon as we were notified, we held this conference.
You had mentioned her body was burned. Can you elaborate a bit more on how badly burned she was, the state of health condition of the body?
I'm sorry, I cannot get into that.
Can you say when she was found? Can you tell us a bit just about sort of the circumstances of the death, like what led to that?
I don't have that information, and that's not something that I'm prepared to get into, because once anybody is arrested, that'd be part of the evidence. And in order not to jeopardize the prosecution and integrity of the investigation, I cannot get into it any further.
This question, was she found on like a private property, or was this, because out in that area it can be sort of wild, you might say, was it just, she sort of dumped?
It was out in the open, that's all I can say.
In terms of her being targeted, is it believed she was targeted in relation to any of her business activities?
All we know is that she was at this property where she disappeared from as part of her real estate business, but we're still We're still investigating the exact cause of her disappearance.
And to be clear, police are still looking for people involved. Are we anticipating homicide charges? Is there anyone who's been identified as involved of the purpose?
Yes. So, like it's been stated here, she was murdered. This is a homicide investigation, and we'll pursue every avenue and every evidence that we get, and we'll see where it takes us.
But to drill down on that last question, have you linked for any specific suspects at this point?
There's nobody that has been charged with the murder, or there's nobody that we have arrest warrant out for at this time.
Just to clarify, just to pick up on these two questions.
Sure.
You have stated that these three youths you've arrested are persons of interest.
Correct.
With the third charge of murder. Are they still being investigated potentially for murder at this point?
Yes, they are persons of interest, and we're investigating every avenue in this case.
We will take just 2 more
Are they in
questions.
custody right now?
Like I said earlier, 2 of them have been released, and 1 of them is still in custody.
If you haven't figured out her cause of death yet, how do you know that she was murdered?
Based on all the evidence and the totality of the investigation, we believe she was murdered.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Can we just get Officer Bailey to say anything?
Yes, sorry. My name is Dave Gill. I'm a detective sergeant with the homicide unit, and I'm the major case manager for this investigation.
Spell your name.
Dave, D-A-V-E, surname G-I-L-L.
Well, we'll be getting an update from York Regional Police speaking to reporters after the remains of missing Markham real estate agent Yuking Moy was found. 3 youths are now charged in connection with her disappearance, but not in her actual murder. They are facing multiple charges, including fraud and firearm offenses. And they're also seeking a 2019 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter cargo van. It's a vehicle of interest, the one you see on your screen, that may have allegedly been used to transport Miss Moy. They believe that she was targeted, and they're also asking for the public's help if anyone has any dash cam or surveillance video that might be of useful in this investigation to contact York Regional Police. We'll have a lot more on this update throughout the morning and afternoon.